A lot of people criticize me because in my videos, I always tell you, never date this or never date that. Never date a single mother. Never date a damaged girl, never fuck crazy, shit like that. I always tell you, whom not to date. Now, why is that? Well, because in life, it's very hard to know what you want. It's exceptionally hard. And I'm not talking about just women, okay? I'm talking about like everything, okay? It's hard to know what you want because there are so many options. And you who are lucky enough to be in the Western democracies, even though we're going off a cliff and, things are going really shitty in our society, you still have so many opportunities. And what happens, of course, is that when you have so many opportunities, you don't know what to focus on. Too many choices makes it impossible to decide. I mean, you've gone to a supermarket, right? You want to buy, fucking dog food or a slice of cheese or something, and there's so much variety, then you're like, what the fuck do I buy, right? Same fucking thing with life. So it's very important that you figure out what you should not go for, or go after, or want, or desire, so that you can figure out what you should want, should go after, should desire. Yeah. The negative choice. I mean, take this womanish, right? If you know that there are different subcategories of women that you should not go after, that are just not good for you, right? Well, you're going to discard those women and whittle down the pool of available women, or more correctly, the appropriate women for you, see? And you'll figure out that, oh, it's a woman who doesn't have all of these qualities, that isn't a single mother, that isn't crazy, that isn't this, that, the other, right? I mean, that way of whittling down your options, you'll find as you get older, is the best way to figure out what you want. Because all of life is just a series of choices. All of life is just deciding what you want insofar as the different things, the different aspects of your life. And many times you will find that because of too many choices, you wind up being paralyzed and not deciding. And not deciding is actually the worst choice. Not making up your mind. You've seen a lot of men probably who are in like their 30s, maybe even their 40s. And they're like, grass hopping around from option to option. They try this for a little while and they try that for a little while, but they never focus. And they sort of like wander through life like a jellyfish with no direction, just carried along by the waves. You've seen such men, right? And they're kind of pathetic. And maybe you're that kind of a guy. You're the kind of guy who just sort of like goes with the flow, but really it's just, you're just passive. And your life, your years, the years of your life are just passing you by and you've got nothing to show for it, right? Well, see, that's a disaster of not figuring out what you want. And it's so important to figure out what you want as early as possible. Because what happens is, see, when you are young, you have more energy, you have more drive. And so you're going to be able to achieve things. But the older you get, inevitably, the less strong you become. It's an inevitability. And so the more you postpone deciding what you want, the worse it's going to be, the harder it will be to achieve it. Look, figuring out what you want out of life is hard. Nobody's saying otherwise. A lot of very smart men, basically fritter away all of their talent because they can't figure out what they want. I mean, it's a tragedy. It's a real fucking tragedy. And, and I've been guilty of it a time or two in my own life. Yeah, where I sort of like drifted. I remember especially right after high school, I drifted for a number of years. Yeah, I was basically an English teacher and not doing a hell of a lot, just drifting through life. And the period that I was in university, I can say that, well, I accomplished something, I got a fucking degree, but really it was another piece of wasted fucking time when I was just fucking drifting, I mean, for all intents and purposes, between the ages of 17 and 27, I've got nothing to show for it. Yeah. I drifted for a few years, teaching English, traveling around and seeing a little bit, but not really coming to any conclusion or really deriving any kind of benefit from it. And then I did 4 years at Dartmouth, an Ivy League school. I graduated with fucking honors from that fucking place. And it was a waste of fucking time. I didn't get anything out of it. And that's an example of just drifting, of just going along, going with the flow, of not deciding consciously what I wanted. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake that I made. Be smart and figure out as early as possible what you want. And like I said, it's hard. It's very fucking hard. But the way to do it is to discard that which you definitely don't want. Just like with women. You discard categories that you know you're not going to want to be with. And you discard this category and that category, and you just whittle it down, and soon enough you'll find out what it is that you want. And here's the weird thing. See, as you start whittling down your options, as they start to narrow, because you're consciously eliminating options that you know are unsuited for you, and you start whittling it down to just a few options, all of a sudden what you want will become crystal clear. Trust me on this. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It's sort of like as you start narrowing your options, all of a sudden the thing that you really want starts to glow. Yeah, I know, it sounds stupid and weird, but it's true. It starts to glow, it starts to shine. It starts to shine in your eye. And that's the point. And that's what you want to be doing. You want to be focusing in on that thing that you really want. And once you come close to it, it'll start to glow, and you'll know it. And it won't be an issue of like, should I do this or should I do that? Maybe yes, maybe no. There'll be a certainty, which is what you want. There'll be a certainty, and you'll focus in on it, zero in on it. I mean, you'll be like a dog chasing a bone. Yeah, you'll know. Okay, and that's what you want. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my Patreon channel. Link is in the description below. I put out an extra video every Wednesday, a video you'll find nowhere else. And I also do a Sunday call-in show called The Weekly Webinar, where I take comments and questions and shoot the shit for 2 to 3 hours about a lot of interesting topics, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So please check it out. Thanks so much, and I will catch you next time.